Today, I want to address resetting your mind to love yourself again. You're likely wondering, what do I mean by that, right? We all know that, some of the events in our life take a big emotional toll on us. The loss of a friend, a loved one, a pet that we have had for years, a job opportunity that didn't work out, the project that kicked off your business and deflated quickly, right? We start something, we try to build a company, and it just doesn't work out, and we just, get deflated. So many examples of those experiences in our lifetime that punch us in the gut and leave us right back where we started, or at times even further down on the dark path. We all been there, but the difference is how we react to these emotions and what we do about it. The very first step to get to a better place is actually to acknowledge where you're coming from and accept where you are today. We're constantly building our beliefs based on our experiences. Acceptance of where you are today is critical because it allows you to reflect on your successes and your failures, and maybe even stop living in denial or chasing unattainable dreams. You are today where you are because of both your successes and your failures in life. Now, let me be clear though, a failure should never mean defeat, right? It should never be a negative thing. It's actually quite the opposite. It's positive. It's a learning lesson that would otherwise never be present in your life. So if you're probably tired of learning this way, maybe it's time to do something different this time around. Maybe check your tribe, right? Check who's in your team, who's supporting you. Do you think that they will support you in your endeavor? Do you think that they will support you in your goals? Do you think they're going to give you good counsel? Are there any coaches? Any mentors? Why have you chosen them in your life? It is critical that you surround yourself with the best of the best, not with just those who are currently in your life. If you have identified a coach or a mentor that you want to work with and it is currently not part of your life, get introduced to them. If not, you can actually interject yourself into their life. And if you're wondering how you do that, just ping them, ask for permission to succeed. Let them know that you want to work with them, right? And get yourself in the mix. Something that I have done is I have identified somebody that I wanted to be my coach, actually more on a mentoring role. So I have reached out. First thing that I did was identify who I wanted to be part of my team, who I looked up to. And I'm like, hey, I really want you to show me the ropes. I really want you to tell me how things are done in your world so I can learn. Not so I can copycat, but that I can learn. What are things that you have learned along the way? We don't need to reinvent the wheel, every single time that we want to do something. And I think that one of the pieces that we always forget is that something has been done by somebody else before we came along. And there's a lot of lessons learned on their end, so we don't need to repeat those same mistakes. We can actually bank on their learnings and take them with us, right? There may be a price to pay though when you're changing, your tribe, when you're changing the composition of your team. If you currently don't have a coach, you may need to get one. If you get a new coach, that's going to probably be a hefty investment. If you currently have friends that don't support you, you may have to change your circle of friends. If your current job doesn't support your dreams, you may have to change your job. So those are all the kind of things that you probably want to do or think about if you are really committed to greatness. Your people, your current tribe, your current team, so are they supporting you on your goals? Do they support your vision of your future self? You may need to leave some people behind. You may need to leave some of your beliefs behind. If you cannot move forward with them, you're going to have to move forward without them. So the price for extra luggage moving forward is much greater than any airline that you have ever flown with. But ask yourself the following question and be truthful with your answers, right? Do you have a clear vision of what do you want to achieve or who you are meant to be? Have you set yourself some short-term and long-term goals? Are those goals measurable and attainable? Are they realistic? And probably the most important question here is, why are those goals important to you? Do they align with your vision of your future self? If they don't, just toss them away. Just come up with new goals, right? Because, for example, if my goal is, I don't know, I'm going to make this up, to become a general manager of a hotel. But in reality, my vision is that I want to see myself as a CEO of a technology company. Those two things are not aligning at all. So I just need to review, number one, what is my true vision? And number two, what are the goals that I'm going to have to lay down to attain that vision? Remember, this is about you. This is not about anybody else. So think about what are your real goals. Don't think about what mom and dad want you to become or what your close friends are doing, so you need to mimic that. No, this is all about you, your goals, and who you want to be. Think about it for a minute. What would happen if you don't achieve these goals? What's a risk? How would your life look like if you haven't achieved these goals, let's say in 1 year or in 3 years? Even take it even further. What would your life look like in 10 years? Are you going to be okay with that? If we have learned one thing these past 2 years, is that tomorrow is never guaranteed. We only have today, right? So what steps are you going to be taking today to start working towards these goals? What are you going to be doing? What positive habits are you going to be acquiring to support these goals of yours? What steps are you going to be taking to achieve these goals? What have other people done to achieve these goals? Write these answers down, seize the moment and take action. Get it going. Don't waste any time. One thing I constantly do is analyze what adds to my life and what drains my energy and time, right? I don't want to go into energy sucking rabbit holes and, things that lead absolutely nowhere, and certainly won't help me to achieve my goals. Those things I try to do without, I try to get them out of my life, and I constantly try to shave that fat. I constantly try to move on without paying attention to those things, because at the end of the day, they're not going to add anything to my life or very minimal towards the person that I want to become. So, your goals won't always be related to money. They could be related to love. They could be related to friendships, to health, to personal growth, to travel, to your career. They could be spiritual goals, or they could be very well financial goals. And they're all very valid, right? As a matter of fact, I will encourage you all to have goals in all of these areas because they're good for you. Having goals in just one of these areas is not really ideal. One of the keys to achieving your new goals will be to be willing to challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone and try a different approach without fear. Are you going to be a little bit afraid? Maybe, but you just need to be courageous. You just need to understand that your first approach or your second or third or fourth, they won't be perfect, and that's okay. It will be a lesson learned. It will be an opportunity to get better that otherwise you would have never had if you would have not tried. A good way to practice learnings from these experiences, right, that we see as negative, but they're not, is to retrospect and just write them down. Write down what went right, what went wrong, what did you learn, and just reflect on the things as new learnings, right? And try to avoid those mistakes that were made, and try to build up on those things that they were actually right, that you actually nailed down to the T. Be proud of yourself for the things that actually do go well, and for learnings from those that don't go well, right? Don't be hard on yourself. Be grateful for all these opportunities. You can have more than what you got because you can become more than what you are. If you never change what you are, you will always have what you currently got. You will make absolute zero progress towards the person you want to become, towards the goals that you're setting for yourself. So with that, don't be afraid to learn something new. Start something that captivates you, right? That you're passionate about. And remember that it doesn't need to be perfect before you can share your passion and give to the world. It may not be perfect for you yet, that's okay, but it could be absolutely perfect for somebody else. So get out of your comfort zone. That's a mental couch where your brain gets unhealthy and useless. The way that you see yourself today is a Polaroid picture of your belief system. Even if those beliefs are validated by some other people's comments, they're all self-limiting. They're hindering your progress. So take action. Own the process of getting the results you want. Think about this and write this down. Ask yourself, what beliefs are currently holding you down? Maybe you don't have enough time. Maybe it's always been this way, right? And what are the things that you accept as truth that might not be actually true? Just question the status quo of your beliefs. Are your beliefs original, or have they been influenced by someone else, right? Is this something that you really believe in, or have you been told all the time, I don't know, I'm going to make this up, but you're not pretty enough, or you're not handsome, or you're not clever, or you're not the smartest cookie? Are your beliefs harmful? Are they even true? What is holding you back from trying something different? If it is your beliefs, then maybe it's time to change some of that. If you acknowledge more than one of these beliefs that you want to change, write them down. What help do you need to take the next step to get rid of these beliefs and acquire more positive ones that will actually help you with the life goals that you have just set for yourself? Remember, even when you're beating up, don't betray yourself. Keep on going and surround yourself by people that support you. And don't ever give up. You got this.